Nintendo was having an incredible run as of late. We had record breaking Switch 2 sales, huge game launches, non stop good press. It finally seemed like Nintendo was on a roll, baby. And then somehow they managed to go ahead and blow all that goodwill today. Because only Nintendo could follow up a string of dubs with a huge L like this, guys. So they dropped a video about their new game key cards, and the internet is absolutely losing it. Not just because of what they announced, but how they announced it and the game they chose to showcase it. And honestly, once you see it, you'll understand why people are furious. So let's start with the context here, guys. Nintendo has been flying high. The Switch 2 passed 10 million units sold between June and September. Mario Kart World alone sold nearly 10 million copies, and Donkey Kong Bonanza broke 3 million. Everything's looking good. Fans are hyped, morale is up, and for once, the conversation around the Nintendo Switch 2 was positive because they've been getting a lot of criticism as of late, especially from this channel if you've been following. Then out of nowhere, Nintendo decides to remind everybody, hey, we're still Nintendo. We can't go 2 months without confusing everyone that supports us. They released a short explainer video out of nowhere about game key cards, which are basically digital game vouchers where you buy them in stores in a physical package instead of actual cartridges. They're a cartridge that has a game download on it, so to speak. I know a lot of people are still confused about them, but they're not actual full physical releases. This video was clearly meant for casual shoppers. It's for parents that are buying gifts, people who don't live online like we do. Just a simple, here's how these things work. Totally harmless on paper, right? Except the internet immediately lit up with anger. The like dislike ratio on this video tanked. It's abysmal. Nintendo screwed up. The comments are brutal, and the backlash was near instant. They are not hearing the end of this, guys, because the video didn't just explain game key cards. It showcased a brand new Pokemon game as the example, and that's when everything absolutely went off the rails here, guys. So the game they used is called Pokemon Potopia or Pokopia. Or it's this Animal Crossing title. If you haven't seen it, it basically looks like a leftover 3DS title that somehow snuck into 2025. It's like an Animal Crossing cozy life sim Pokemon game type of thing. It has flat textures, lifeless environments, vines that look like they were rendered on a GameCube. Overall, it's a rough game. I guess if you're a Pokemon fan and you like cozy games, you might be happy for it. You might be excited. For me, it kind of looks a little gay, so I'm not going to check it out. But I'll also tell you why I'm not going to check it out in here. So, at first glance, you would think, okay, maybe this is a smaller, budget friendly release, right? Maybe, what, $30, $40 spin off, something chill for the kids. But no, guys, this is a full fledged $70 game. Congrats, Nintendo. Sorry, Robert, we're no longer with the company. Domino's Pizza again. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. It's a $70 Pokemon game that looks like this. Look at it. Just look at it. And guess what the beauty of it is? It's digital only, tied to a game key card. The thing that a lot of us do not like about the Switch 2 in their video games. This isn't some massive next gen title, guys. This isn't a technical limitation. This is Nintendo and the Pokemon Company deliberately choosing to sell a glorified mobile game for premium price. And that is the biggest Nintendo thing in the fucking world for them to do. And they're using it to promote their entire game key card system that people already do not like. The game key card system that people have been complaining about. The game key card system that Nintendo sent a survey in over the summer and I made sure that I filled it out and let them know that I didn't like it. I know a lot of people haven't liked it. I haven't heard one good thing about game key cards other than people that are trying to cope with it saying, oh, well, you're going to have to buy game key cards anyway. And they post a little Twitter and Instagram post mocking gamers that are upset about it when they're absolutely clueless. They're caving into anti-consumerism by buying these fucking things. They're just all around trash. So having a Pokemon game that looks like this for $70 full price as a game key card when it's clearly not a technology limitation as to why it has to be on a game key card is ridiculous. I can get it for things like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Star Wars Outlaws or bigger games like that. I can understand even Final Fantasy VII, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. I can understand that being on a game key card because they're bigger than the cartridges that are available. But you're mean to tell me that I have to be led to believe that this game has to be on a game key card. No. All right. This is a weird choice and a weird decision by them. And this is why it matters. Here's where it gets ugly, guys. Until now, most people assumed Nintendo's own first-party games, which I have a good grip of them right here, would always be available on physical cartridges. I have 3 of them here. I got Hyrule Warriors, I got Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Mario Kart World. We've been led to believe that all of the first-party Nintendo games would never be game key cards, that they would fully be on the cartridge, and that game key cards were just experiments for third-party digital developers, right? But the moment that Nintendo publishes a title like this as a game key card, that line gets erased. It's over with now, all right? The rumpus time is over. This opens the door for a future where even Nintendo's biggest exclusives could ditch cartridges entirely. And if that happens, game preservation takes another massive hit. You don't actually own the game, guys, when you buy a game key card. You're literally renting a license that could vanish the moment the servers go offline. It's actually the worst of both worlds, whether physical or digital. At that point, I'd rather actually own just a digital version of the game because it's the same fucking thing. And the more that game key cards get supported, the least that we're going to see actual full physical versions. That's why I hold the line at that. I'd rather wait for real physical copies or not have them at all instead of having this weird thing. So no, this isn't just gamers overreacting. This is a real shift in how Nintendo handles physical ownership. And Pokemon literally became the poster child for it with this thing. And now what makes it worse is comparison. Now, I mentioned Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, right? This is the same console, the Switch 2, where you can get this Potopia crap, or you can buy Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is an objectively massive, gorgeous, much better fucking game than Pokemon Pokopia, for $40. It looks incredible. It runs well. It has all the extra DLC content for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yet Pokemon, the most profitable entertainment franchise on Earth, ships a half-baked game that looks like it belongs on a DS or a 3DS and is charging almost double of it. Make it make sense here, guys. That's not just lazy, it's tone deaf at taking advantage of people. Once again, the Pokemon Company is nickel and diming people. And the fact that Nintendo thought this was the perfect game to show off their shiny new keycard program, that's corporate self-sabotage at best, guys. But here's the kicker. It won't even matter. We could sit here all day, cry about it, cry on the internet, because Pokemon fans are still going to buy it. All you fucking weebs are still going to buy it. RGT85 said it best in his video. Pokemon is the Nickelback of gaming. Everybody claims to hate it. Everyone mocks it. But when a new one drops, millions of people line up to buy it anyway. And the few who criticize it get dogpiled by grown adults defending a franchise that refuses to evolve. They're fine with mediocrity. So they're going to be fine with a game key card. That's why Nintendo keeps doing this, because they can. At the end of the day, simple 3-word answer, because they can. They've trained their fan base to accept less and pay more, and call it loyalty. And that is fucking nuts. That is fucking nuts. So yeah, this whole situation isn't just about one bad trailer. It's about what it represents, guys. A billion-dollar company pushing digital first convenience at the cost of ownership, at the cost of value and player respect, and using Pokemon as the shield to do it. And if this is where Nintendo's heading with the Switch 2 era, we should all be worried. Hands the fuck down. But hey, this is just my take. Let me know what you think. Is this a harmless experiment, or is Nintendo crossing a line here? And would you ever pay $70 for a game that looks like that? Even if it was a full-fledged game release on a physical cartridge, it's a $70 game that looks like this. Okay? The fact that it's a game key card is icing on the shit sundae. Drop a comment down below. I'll be checking them. Hit subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching.